Have you ever found yourself doing this when you're really bored? I know I have. It's something we all seem to do when we're just hanging out on our desktop, just highlighting random stuff. It works like this. By drag clicking, you can create these blue boxes that can transform into any shape you want. It's really fun, but it got me thinking, wouldn't it be cool if there was a game that used this as a mechanic? Somehow. So, seeing as this idea was pretty cool and unique, I decided to make my own game with this mechanic. And as another challenge, I also decided to get it published on itch.io so you guys can go play it on your browser. Oh yeah, did I also forget to mention that I only have 24 hours? Alright, and time starts now. First thing I did was obviously make the project, and for now, we'll just call it Cursor Game. And just like that, the project was successfully being created. But before we get into that, we should probably talk about the actual idea of the game. So I was thinking the game would be a recreation of inside of a Windows computer, and the player would out of nowhere get a virus, and these little virus guys would try to destroy the computer, and the player's job would be to kill the viruses using the selection mechanic that we talked about earlier. Now, once the project was created, I went over to Sprite and began making the sprite for the mouse because I wanted it to be pixel art just like the rest of the game. Then I created a sprites folder so I could put all the sprites inside and stay organized. Then I configured the mouse sprite to be the actual cursor that you have in the game, and from then on I began working on the actual mechanics using code and also this blue box that would act as our selection box. After a long time, I went to test it out, and to my surprise, it actually worked. I was so happy by this result because it was so clean and worked perfectly. After that, I decided to get working on the taskbar because it would make it look more like the interface of a computer. And here's the final result. Pretty cool, right? But now let's actually make the most important part. The viruses. I made the same transition in the last video. Well, I wanted the viruses to be small, and I wanted them to start coming in from all sides of the screen trying to eat away at your computer. I also wanted the game to get harder and harder as the game went on, and for that I would need a difficulty increaser. So then I made the virus sprite along with this cool little animation. Then I reused this Earth icon from my game Space Cannon, which is out on Google Play, and I used it for the icon for the internet. So I decided the viruses would try to attack the internet icon, and that would do damage to the computer. So now, as you can see, when the viruses collide with the icon, I will lose a bit of health on my computer, but I can still kill the viruses by selecting them. Now, most people would have just called this finished, and for the most part, it is. But folks, you know me, we can do better. And I did do better, right after I finished playing this for 20 minutes, but that proves the game is fun, and that's good. Anyways, right after that, I made a non-functional browser called Goggle, and added a notification that would warn the player that the computer has a virus. Then I made some more cool sprites like this lightning bolt, and this logo for, Wandos. Then in-game, I made this sick animation. Come on guys, come on, come on. Thank you. Alright. Also, here's the browser in action with the cool little opening animation. I added some even more cool stuff, and now 15 seconds of the game being open, and a notification will appear, and all the viruses will start to appear as well. Oh yeah, and also if you die, it'll give you the blue screen of death, which I found pretty funny. Then I added some simple sounds like clicking, also because music wouldn't really fit well with this game. Then I added a little start screen for the game that says one other user has been on this computer, and if you try to delete all data, it just removes the yes button. Finally, I made a quick little logo for the game, which I decided to name NotAVirus. Then I went ahead and clicked build on the game and published it to itch.io, where you can play it right now with the link in the description. And don't worry, cause it's not a virus. No, seriously, you can play it on your browser, but if you want to install it, it's better, so yeah, whatever. Also, somehow we ended up with about 5 hours left on the timer, so that's pretty cool. And another thing I wanted to say is this is not a major project. So basically, this is just a quick little game I just made for fun. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to check out my game studio, Piggle Studios, and you'll see you next time.